All right, good morning, eighth grade. I figured I'd record a quick video just to make sure you're all on the same page when you try. These are all multiple choice for the most part, exponent property questions. So just remember the basics, okay? So I know people have been tuning in at different parts of these lessons with these properties, but just remember the basics, okay? So if it's the same base, x squared times x to the fifth, you just add them up and you get x to the seventh. If it's the same base as being divided, m to the ninth over m to the third. You subtract the exponents as long as the same base, you get m to the sixth. The other rules we learned, anything to the power of zero, so like 24 to the power of zero is 1. We also learned the negative exponent rule, where if you have like x to the negative 8, it's really 1 over x to the positive 8, or you could have like x to the fifth, y to the negative 2, and that just brings it up to the top. You'd be x to the fifth, y to the positive 2 up top. Other rules that we learned here, if you learn power to a power, so like if you had 2x to the fifth raised to the fourth, okay, this is important. It would go to both, and 2 to the fourth is just, you write 2 to the fourth like that, and then distribute that power to a power, you multiply x to the 20th. And 2 to the fourth is actually 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times another 2, which is 16, x 20. So keep that in mind. That's going to come up in some of the practice questions today. Same thing with the quotient rule to a power. So say you have, I don't know, I'll keep 2 going, 2x to the fifth, and then maybe 3y to the fourth, all raised to the maybe second power. Okay, everything in the inside gets that power. And so 2 to the fourth is 4, and then multiply that, you get x to the 10th. Here, 3 to the second is 9. Y to the 2 times 4, sorry, 8. That was to simplify like that. Remember when dealing with constants, so say you had an example like this, 3x squared times 5x to the 9th, okay? Just multiply the numbers like you normally would. This would be 15, and then deal with so multiply the constants like you normally would, and then deal with the powers at exponent rules. This would be x to the 11th. It's the same basis we add. So I'll do some quick questions for today's classwork. Let's say I'm doing one that popped out to me was number 6. Easy question here, I think, times. So 5 to the negative 2 is going to be 1 over 5 to the 2, because across the line changes the sign. So that's going to be 5 squared is 25, so it's going to be 20 times 1 over 25. Okay, maybe this isn't as easy as I thought. 20 over 25 reduces to C, 1/4. So your answer for number 6 is 1/4. Number 11 is the hardest, so I'll definitely start you off with that. Here, like I said, you distribute everything here. So you get 3 squared is 9, x squared, y to the 2 times 3 is 6. And then here, distribute the 6 to everything, x6, y6. And then you got to add the exponents, okay, for the x's and the y. So basically, it looks like your answer is either going to be A or D. Going on to those part questions here. With good hint here, you're only going to click the one that is correct, that is equivalent. There should be 2. My hint to you is that there's 2 that are equivalent to this. So same basis, you're supposed to add the exponents. 2 of these, I think, should work. And then you were doing some questions for MCAS questions. It looked like, oh, here's a good example. So like, say you're doing this. So say you get -2, say the answer is to the 3rd power, okay? That's not the answer, but -2 times -2 times -2. believe it or not, is a -8. Negative times a negative back times a negative is back to a -8. If it was an even time, so if you're doing negative, negative, negative times another negative, then you get a positive. So keep that in mind. You're going to add these exponents here. So good luck. I figured that'd be a nice little intro video to get you started today.